goodness, this is a late one. This is about 10 o'clock, and for me, that is late. It might not be late for you. Hey, this is Amy, your hope slinger. We are wrapping up second to last week of looking at one Bible verse before anything of last week happened. This was put on my heart to talk about, and we'd been talking about it for, like I said, going on 7 weeks. So you may think, how on earth could you talk about a Bible verse, one Bible verse for 8 weeks? Well, we have done it, and I have had a marvelous time, and we're not done yet. For those of you unfamiliar, we're talking about Galatians 6:9, which says, "Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the right time you will reap a harvest if you don't give up." Now, here's the thing, that life just jumped in here and lifed us, right? Um, oh, so much going on. And as Jesus followers, as little Christ like ones, as we were called in the early church, hmm, we have had some things to think about. Everybody has had some things to think about. Now, not everybody has come to conclusions that are helpful, but there's been a lot of thinking going on. There's been a lot of looking at things going on. There's been a lot of, dare I say, soul searching. And I just want to encourage you, sometimes that's part of doing good. Sometimes when you have those moments and the scales fall off your eyes, or you see something in a totally different light than what you had been seeing them in, it calls for reflection. Like, it calls for a time of regathering, of recalibrating, if you will. And there seem to be quite a few people that are like, wait a second, what's up with this Jesus thing that people are willing to lose their lives over? And I can't help but draw some parallels. Hi, hi, hi. When we're told not to grow weary in doing good, oh my goodness. Don't you think? Yeah, yes, Jesus is worth it. Don't you think that, throughout history, there have been times like this where people get a glimpse of why we believe, of like something that just rocks their world, and they have to take some time and figure it out. They like have to ask the questions. So I just feel like we're in here. I just feel like we're right in the middle of it. And I don't want you to grow weary in this place either, right? I don't want you to grow weary in doing good in this place, even if in this place is a new place, even if you're not used to anything that's going on here. And even if up to now you've lived your life and you haven't gone deep, you haven't thought about mortality, you haven't thought about these things because it's been so easy just to categorize people, right? It's just been rhetoric, it's just been words. It hasn't meant anything. But now people are starting to pay ultimate prices. Now people are, well, it's just getting real. It's just getting real up in here, right? So here we are looking at this one verse that continually tells us over and over not to grow weary in doing good. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. Just don't grow weary in doing good. And it's amazing that we have so many coming to the faith. We have so many that are just so hungry for Jesus. Oh, that is a beautiful thing. But I am well aware it can be very scary. And there can be a lot of confusion in this. Don't get weighed down with the confusion, my friends. Don't get weighed down with it. You know, confusion can be one of those things that can weigh us down, and it can make it seem very heavy to continue to for continuing to do good. It can weigh us down and make us a little bit heavy and feel tired of doing good. But that's not your portion. That's not your life. Otherwise, the end of the verse wouldn't be coming along. Otherwise, Paul wouldn't have written the end of the verse that says, don't grow weary in doing good, for at the right time you will reap a harvest if you don't give up. So here we have choices. We're seeing crazy things happen. Amen. We are seeing people saying all sorts of stuff about Jesus, about God, about faith. We got unrest, we got this turmoil, we've got this heaviness and this sadness, and then we have people that are um, mocking it. We have people that are in pain about it. We have like every reaction under the spectrum. And I think it's worth revisiting as we are now a week out of the Charlie Kirk assassination, even more so uh, for the stabbing on the train. I mean, just horrific evil, right? Um, but in that, everybody on some level is having to come to terms with how they feel about these things and what they're going to believe about these things. And this is where the rubber meets the road, right? This is the real stuff. This is where what people that have said that they follow Christ, this is where you get to see how they react. This is where you get to see how welcoming they are to new people. This is where you get to see the encouragement. This is where you get to see the love and this movement of just pouring hearts out and saying, I want this. I want this Jesus that is being talked about. And let me tell you, gang, that is what Galatians 6:9 is talking about. Because when it says don't grow weary in doing good, that's not something that we're expected to do by ourselves. That's not something we're expected to do out of relationship with Jesus and outside of community with other believers. It in its perfect state, it is in relationship with God and relationship with others. That's really how the thing is designed to work. And that's how it can work again. And because we have that freedom and we have that invitation and we have that choice to partner with Him, that is how we can not grow weary in doing good. Because if we were just going to, okay, true confessions, I'll raise my hand. And I shouldn't because, well, you might think less of me, but I mean, that's okay because I realize I'm coming to you with no makeup on half the time and like the total opposite of what an influencer would be or someone who is trying to get the word out about something. It's fine. 123 of you have found me and we have had a great time together. So I'm not worried about the numbers. But it is amazing. I will admit to you that I just took a few minutes and I sort of put my thumb on the pulse of social media and what's going on out there. I don't mind telling you, it was eye opening. Um, it was eye opening. I did a lot of praying. Hello, hello, everybody jumping on. I don't even know how that works on here. I'm new to YouTube, so I'll just keep saying hello to people. Um, but very, very eye-opening. I keep saying that, but it's like there's a lot of hurting individuals out there. And I say that with a smile, but I'm not making fun. I'm not joking about any of this. I'm not joking or making fun of pain. I just am saying that I can see it in people's reactions, in the unrest, in just the lack of common decency, right? Just it's just so prevalent. And it's not that it hasn't been there, it's that it's so concentrated. And I'm telling you, this is going to be my encouragement for you tonight. Because we talked about not growing weary and doing good, and that comes from that partnership and that relationship with Jesus, and then with community of um, of people to help share the burden. Um, but it's so concentrated on social media. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to encourage you again. Just think about limiting your time. I mean, uh, limiting your time to the craziness. I mean, get on there and celebrate with these people that are getting free, right? Yeah, that's fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying just safeguard your own peace that is a gift. Nurture that, protect that. You don't have to pick up a bandwagon, jump on something, pick up a fight that's not yours. It all comes back. It all comes back to Jesus and what you say about him and who you say he is. That is the central theme. There's a lot of peripheral, but right there in the central is just simply Jesus and who do you say he is? So just if you go into it with that kind of an attitude, and I hope that you do, but I'm also well aware that you might be watching this and you're like, I don't know. I don't know what I think about this Jesus. I don't know. And so maybe you don't know him personally. But here's what I'm going to end with tonight is when we read verses like Galatians 6:9 out of the Bible, when you do know him, and when you say, I want to know you, and he makes his home in your heart, these verses then pertain to you. These verses then hit different. Then it's like, I don't have to grow weary. I'm in partnership with him. And that's really what I wanted to encourage you with tonight. It makes it possible then to not lose heart. It makes it possible to continue to keep going. It makes it possible to not grow weary in doing good. So you can show up for people, you can love people, you can have this peace that passes all understanding. That's how those things happen. So we can agree, or we can agree to disagree. But I encourage you to keep asking the questions. Keep showing up. Keep diving in. Keep checking what I'm saying for yourself. Don't just take what I'm saying on faith. Get in there and read it for yourself. You read Galatians 6:9 and tell me what hits you about it. I'd like to know. I'd like to hear. Okay, I will let you go for tonight. Remember, we only have 1 week, well, a week and 2 days left for this particular Bible study, this particular I was in verse study. And I will say too that we are moving on to something else starting in October. Um, and so I hope that you will continue along for the ride for that. Be sure and hit like and subscribe if you're so moved. That just helps to spread the word about the good things that we're talking about. And here's the thing, what we talk about might not always be easy, but I think we have been shown that we can do the difficult things. We can not grow weary in doing good. Okay, that was it. Thank you guys for hopping on, and we will see you tomorrow night. Okay, bye bye.